In Iraq, AH-64s have been striking against Iranian-aligned militia groups to make sure that we suppress any threat in Iraq against U.S. forces or U.S. interests.
Somewhere over the Strait of Hormuz, the Gulf is black below. On the FLIR screen, white shapes move through the heat. The gunner's helmet turns. The barrel follows. This is the AH-64 Apache, and tonight it's hunting. The United States deployed it to the Strait of Hormuz in March of 2026. Chairman of the Joint Chiefs General Dan Caine confirmed it at the Pentagon on March 19th. The Apache has joined the fight on the southern flank, hunting Iranian drones, killing fast attack boats, and striking militia positions in Iraq. The AH-64E Apache Guardian is 58 feet long. Its main rotor spans 48 feet. Empty, it weighs just over 10,000 pounds. Fully loaded for combat, with Hellfire missiles, Hydra 70 rockets, and 1,000 rounds of 30mm ammunition, it weighs 17,000 pounds. The cockpit seats two. The co-pilot and gunner sits forward and below. The pilot sits behind and above. Both can fly the aircraft. Both can fight it. If one crew member is incapacitated, the other finishes the mission. Before the engines start, the crew runs through the pre-flight. The co-pilot checks the target acquisition and designation site, the TADS, a sensor turret mounted under the nose that combines a forward-looking infrared camera, a daylight television system, and a laser rangefinder and designator into one stabilized platform. Through it, the gunner can identify and engage targets at ranges beyond 4 kilometers in total darkness through dust and smoke. The pilot checks the integrated helmet and display sighting system. The monocle attached to the flight helmet displays flight data and targeting information directly onto the lens. Where the pilot looks, the M230 chain gun follows. The engines start. 2 General Electric T700 turbo shafts, each producing nearly 2,000 shaft horsepower. The 4-bladed main rotor begins to turn, slowly at first, then faster, the blades cutting through the air with a rhythm that builds into a deep mechanical pulse. At full RPM, the tips of the rotor blades are moving at nearly the speed of sound. The Apache lifts off. On each stub wing, the ground crew has loaded the AGM-114 Hellfire missiles, 4 to a rail, up to 16 on a fully armed aircraft. Each Hellfire is 5 feet 4 inches long and weighs 107 pounds. The warhead is a shaped charge designed to penetrate up to 36 inches of rolled homogeneous armor. More than enough to destroy any tank, any armored vehicle, any hardened position it is aimed at. The longbow variant, the AGM-114L, adds a millimeter-wave radar seeker. It does not need the crew to maintain line of sight after launch. The missile finds its own way to the target. Fire and forget. Under the fuselage, the M230 chain gun is loaded and verified. The gun fires 30mm rounds at a rate of 625 rounds per minute. It is linked directly to the gunner's helmet. When the gunner turns his head, the barrel turns with it. When the crosshairs in his monocle settle on a target, he fires. In the Strait of Hormuz, the targets are not tanks. They are Iranian Shahed drones, one-way attack munitions built from commercial components, costing a few $1,000s each, flying at low altitude toward Gulf shipping lanes, oil terminals, and military positions across the region. Iran has launched them by the hundreds. The Apache's M230 is ideally suited for this. A short burst, 4 to 6 rounds, is enough to destroy the lightweight airframe of a Shahed. The cost per engagement, a fraction of what an interceptor missile would cost. The UAE Air Force documented 8 kills in a single engagement on March 8th, firing from hover, tracking each drone through the TADS sensor as it crossed the Persian Gulf. The Apache flies low, At cruise, it holds 265 kilometers per hour, skimming the surface of the water, radar cross-section minimized, using the curvature of the Earth and the heat shimmer off the Gulf to mask its approach. The ANA PG-78 longbow radar, mounted in a dome above the rotor mast, can detect and classify up to 256 targets simultaneously and prioritize the 16 most threatening. It operates in millimeter wave frequencies, which means rain, dust, and smoke do not degrade it. In the Strait of Hormuz, where Iranian fast attack boats operate in clusters among civilian traffic, the ability to distinguish military from commercial vessels matters. Iranian fast attack craft have been operating in the strait since the opening days of the war. Small, fast, maneuverable vessels equipped with rockets, torpedoes, and the ability to swarm larger ships before defenses can respond. The United States military destroyed 44 Iranian vessels, laying mines in the first weeks of the conflict alone. The Apache's job is the ones that get through the outer perimeter. Flying in pairs, the crews work designated patrol sectors over the strait, communicating with Navy surface ships and FA-18s overhead, coordinating the layered defense that keeps the waterway from becoming an uncontested Iranian operating zone. At night, the crews switch to the forward-looking infrared system. The Gulf goes dark. The Apache does not. Through the FLIR, heat signatures bloom white against a black sea, boat engines, drone motors, the exhaust trails of missiles in flight. The gunner tracks them through the sensor. The system calculates range and lead angle automatically. The trigger does the rest. The war has not stayed in the strait. In Iraq, Iranian-backed militia groups, the same network that killed more than 600 American troops between 2003 and 2011, began repositioning the moment U.S. and Israeli strikes hit Iran on February 28. Forward operating positions, weapons caches, launch sites for rockets and drones aimed at American forces and interests in the region. For this, the AH-64s are the answer. The crew locates the target through the TADS. The gunner designates it with the laser. The Hellfire Seeker locks onto the reflected laser energy. The missile leaves the rail at Mach 1.3, faster than the speed of sound. From trigger pull to impact, less than 10 seconds at typical engagement ranges. Chairman of the Joint Chiefs General Dan Caine confirmed the operations on March 19th. The Apaches were hitting Iranian-aligned militia positions to suppress any threat against U.S. forces or interests. He did not specify how many missions had been flown since February 28th. The results spoke for themselves. They work in pairs, always. One aircraft engages, the other covers, watching for threats, ready to suppress anything that fires back. The pilot and gunner in the covering aircraft track the engagement through the longbow radar, building a common tactical picture that links both helicopters to every friendly asset in the area. The Apache has been fighting America's wars for 4 decades. It was built for a war that never came, and found dozens that did. Somewhere over the Strait of Hormuz, a crew of 2 is strapped into a machine that sees in the dark, shoots faster than sound, and has kept every war it has entered from becoming something worse. The AH-64 Apache remains present in the fight.